It's raining in California today, so I'm excited to record this podcast. Hi, my name's Kay Anagonio. I am a journalist, documentarian, filmmaker, photographer, editor, musician. I do lots of things. I do lots of side hustle type of freelance work because as a millennial, I feel like that's what I have to do. We have to have a ton of jobs. And I've spoken about this in the podcast. If you're new to the podcast, please go back to the previous episodes and check out what is going on. There's a lot of information that I want to give you guys, not only in this episode, but in every episode. And I want to just give you guys a little hint, little nudge. I'm going to have a lot of podcasts with guests coming up, and I want to know who you want me to have on the podcast. It can be a filmmaker, it can be a photographer, it can be a musician, it can be an architect, anyone that does freelancing work. If you're a screenwriter, if you are... I don't know what other, there's a lot of freelancing titles, you know, if you are a virtual assistant or an accountant, whatever it is, let me know who you would like me to talk to on this podcast that you want to know more from. So if you want to hear me talk to, say, Art Wolf, he's a photographer, he's shot for Nat Geo, he's shot for so many amazing publications, and I personally would love to have Art on the podcast. And I mean, we could venture as far as like inventors and people with patents, because that is also freelancing. You put your whole life into it. You know, like freelancing is it's a very broad term because essentially everyone's a freelancer. The only difference is, as a freelancer, when I get fired, I can get another job. I still have money that I can go get and keep getting money into my pocket. When you get fired from your job at, say, a bank or a law firm or whatever, you don't have any more money coming in. You're done. That's it. You can't just go get another job like at the, doing the same thing like immediately. Like it takes a long time to get another job. And with freelancing, we always have to stay a step ahead. We have to have new jobs lined up after the job we finish. Sometimes I work on like 6 consecutive projects at the same time because I know I'm going to finish one and then the next one is due a couple days after that. So why don't I split my time and start working on both of them? And that's how my brain works, because if I work on something for like 7 hours, I'm going to lose my mind. I have to split up what I'm working on throughout the day so that I can give it the time that it deserves, like this podcast. Like right now I have an hour and I'm like, okay, for this next hour, I'm going to record this podcast. And then after I finish recording this podcast, I'm going to start working on a video that I want to finish editing. And then after that, and after that, and after that. And that's how my day goes every single day. And if I'm done working on something, or if I have like some leisure time, or even when I'm taking a dump, you guys, this is me being real honest with you, I'm applying for jobs 24/7 around the clock. I asked my girlfriend last night to apply for jobs for me while I was like taking a shower. This is just the way my brain works. It's always work, and it's so hard to like separate everything. But we talked about that. We've talked about it, and we'll keep talking about that kind of stuff. But I want to focus on something. This week, I want to talk to you guys about social media, why it's important, what platforms I think you should use, some tips and tricks, and some things that I've learned over the years. I want to share my knowledge with you guys. And a lot of the things that I'm going to tell you, I've actually learned from other podcasters. So I'm definitely going to mention some of those throughout this episode. And if you want to check out more of what I do, you can head over to kanagoniophotography.com, or you can find me on social media. My Facebook and my Instagram pages are Anagonio Photography. And if you guys enjoy this podcast, please be sure to give it a rating down below. It's absolutely free to give a rating. You just give me all the stars, and then you can leave a comment saying like, yo, Kay, that's what's up, my girl. Yeah, I'm gonna go take those photos. Yeah, if you want to comment that'd be super sick. But yeah, share the podcast if you enjoy it. And let me know what you guys think over on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, which is @KAnagonio. Cool. Let's get into this. I am so excited to talk about social media because it is basically what made me. Okay, so I want to talk about why it's important to have social media. Even if you are a professional photographer and you are beyond social media, you have a client portfolio that you don't need to expand. If that's the case, well, go listen to a different episode of Project Freelance, because this episode's not going to help you at all. This episode is directed towards those that are trying to really get started in the world of freelancing, you know? And these are for photographers that are still trying to figure out what to do and where to post and why they should do it. Some people think that social media is stupid. And to an extent, it is. It is so ridiculous that we post the best parts of our lives and then we compare those to the best part of other people's lives, and then we think that our lives are super crappy because their lives are clearly better than ours. And that is just, that's not the way you should see social media. Like, that is how it is, and it's super unfortunate. But as a photographer, as a creator, instead of looking at social media as a way to compare yourself and your life and your success to others, use it as like a marketing tool. That's essentially what social media is to those that create and sell and offer services and products. It's marketing. It's online marketing. And everything we see nowadays is ad. Buy this, click this, go here, do this, sign up for this. But you know what? That's how businesses remain successful as we go more into the virtual world of like Amazon drop centers and getting rid of malls and all kinds of crazy stuff. That was a super specific thing, but I was looking at Seph Lawless's Instagram today. If you don't know who he is, he also explores abandoned buildings, which is something that I do frequently and I love it. But Seph is on some next level-ish, like, the guy has 2 books. He has Abandoned Across America, and then he has one that he just came out with about abandoned theme parks around America. And it's so cool to see that he gets to go to all these places. And the best way for him to reach out to his audience is through social media. That not only helps him interact with his audience and his followers, but it's also allowed him to reach out and touch CNN and all these big corporations and companies. And it's to the point where he gets so much traffic and so much attention that he's been called by like the police saying that, hey, we're looking for you because we saw that you live streamed in this abandoned mall in this city and we want to like prosecute you for it. Crazy. But I love Seph's stuff. And what I'm trying to say is he uses social media to not only share his journey, but he also uses it as a way to share his photos, which then he turned into a very specific, very like niche, but very, very creative photo book. And Seph did such a good job of selling them and making it look like you're just checking out another photo of his, but it's amazing because you're like, oh my goodness, there's a whole collection of these kind of photos. I want to see that, which then makes you want to go check out his book and buy his book. And to be completely honest with you, having photo books are my favorite. I have one from Mayhem Fest. I've got one from a New York photographer. He shot on film back in the day, and all he did was capture the world around him. So fascinating. I have been working on a coffee table book for so long now, and I'm trying to figure out what direction to go in. And I would love to have Seph on the podcast to talk about his photography and how he decided what to put into his books, because I think that would help not only me a lot, but I think it would be so awesome to share with you guys. So can we just reach out to Seph at Seph Lawless? All this information's in the description, guys. If you want to just go click on it directly, it'll take you over to where you need to go. So you might be sitting there or standing there or running or filming. I don't know what you're doing right now, but wherever you are, you might be wondering, okay, why are you talking about this one photographer for 6 minutes? I don't understand why you're telling me about him and his Instagram and his photo books. I don't get it. Here's my point. Seph uses Instagram specifically. That's where I found him, so that's what I follow him on, you know? So Seph uses Instagram to gain exposure. And it's also like a virtual resume for him. And it also leads to sales, which essentially is what we do social media for as freelancers. And if you disagree with me, or if you say like, that's not what I do as a freelancer, you're a liar. No offense, like, to anybody out there, but as a freelancer, as a photographer, you're obviously trying to get people to pay you to take photos, right? So you're using it as a marketing tool anyway. But this is me just giving a name to that, which is just social media marketing, essentially. But exposure is the main reason that we use social media, because our end goal is to get people to buy what we're selling, essentially. We want people to you want to turn clicks into conversions. You want to turn likes into dollar signs. That's essentially why we invest so much time and so much money into social media. It's ridiculous. I mean, I invest in Google because Google owns everything. Google owns everything around me. True. But exposure. You want people to get to where you want them to go. You need to get people to buy what you're selling. So just remember that next time you post something on Instagram, just think to yourself, is this photo gonna get me clients, or is this photo just gonna be like one of those photos? And either way, it's totally fine, because to me personally, I obviously post way more on Instagram because the attention span of people is so quick and your timeline gets lost because it's updating so quickly and there's so many people that we're following. So it's hard to get your stuff seen, honestly. So you have to either pay to promote it, which goes through Facebook, because Facebook also owns everything. So you have to do that, or you have to post consistently, like throughout the day. And there's different algorithms, and these are changing always with the advancement and the change of society and the generations and the way they're interacting with media online. Everything is going to change, and you have to keep posting so that people keep up with you, because if you don't keep posting, you're going to get lost in the feed. That's the thing. That's why people put so much money into social media marketing, because they realize, if I put this money in, I should, in theory, get money out of it, because you are trying to push marketing. You're trying to push your brand out into the world. So in theory, if you do a good job, if your product is great, if your website's easy to there's all these little steps that you should think about before you actually start using your Instagram and your social media as a way to get new clients. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Before you start getting and looking for clients through Instagram, like DMs and stuff, if you're really trying to reach out and get hired through Instagram, like I've been talking about, you need to figure out what you want to do. Some Instagram accounts have themes. Some only post certain kinds of photos, so some people have like 6 different Instagram accounts for their 6 different types of photography or music or video work or whatever it is that they do, because social media, especially Instagram and Facebook, they are becoming your virtual resume. It's easier for people to see your work on Facebook or Instagram instead of your website. Why? Because their phone is always in their hands. They don't want to go navigate a website. They're already on Instagram. They're already on Facebook and Twitter. They're already there. All you have to do is say hi. All you have to do is go where the audience is. It's so simple, and people don't even realize it. People try to invest so much money through like Facebook marketing that's like automated through the actual Facebook page, not through Facebook page manager, whatever. And you're basically just wasting your money if you go through the actual like Facebook page instead of going through the manager. It's so weird. It's so weird. But this is the kind of stuff that I feel like you guys will need to know down the line, and I will try to get more in depth with this with a guest that knows more about social media marketing than I do. But I just wanted to kind of lay down the groundwork for you guys and just tell you the opportunities that you could have by using social media. Even if you don't like using social media, there's still an importance to it. So the second thing that I wanted to talk about when it comes to social media is the fact that you can build a community and you can become a part of a community or various communities. There are these little groups everywhere. I mean, we use hashtags to be a part of a group. That's what we all want to fit into boxes. Whether or not you want to admit it, we have to put ourselves in these boxes because we're like, I'm a photographer, so I'm going to use photography tags. And I'm a ballerina, so I'm going to use dancer tags because I want other dance studios to hire me or whatever. Everything you do is marketing. You're marketing yourself. Even if you're not a creator, you're still marketing yourself every day, whether you like to admit it or not. So in a sense, we're all freelancers. But now I'm just kind of getting carried away with it. But there are different communities you can join. For example, if you go on Vimeo, I don't know if any of you guys actually know what Vimeo is. Basically, it is the high definition professional version of YouTube. So filmmakers, animators, they put their projects up on Vimeo and then you can join groups. So for example, I am in groups that cover urban exploring. And when you go into the group, you can see everyone's videos that have been tagged with the tag for that group. It's awesome. So that's a great way to grow a community. It's a great way to find people to collaborate with or work for or with. I'm telling you, social media is way more important than you think it is, even if you don't like it. So next, I want to talk about inspiration. On social media, you follow people that inspire you. You follow people whose stuff that you want to see because you like it, you admire it, you think they're hot. Okay, but we're not talking about that right now. Or you think that they are super creative in whatever it is you do in your field, right? So on my photography Instagram, I follow all photographers and filmmakers, and I follow like collectives and I follow groups that I want to be a part of because I love that community. But the people that you follow are also can also be like your biggest inspiration. It's amazing. That's something about social media that I feel a lot of creators forget about. There's so much opportunity to get ideas. And when it comes to creativity, everyone, like the cliche is, oh, that's already been done. Everyone's already done that. But if you think about it, a lot of ideas come from inspiration from other things that already exist or from other ideas. That's just how we work as humans. We have to try to better something, or we have to try to make our own version of something. That's why people do cover videos on YouTube to get discovered as singers. It's social media that is pushing us towards working for ourselves. And if you want to work for yourself, social media is so very important. And there's so many different platforms that you could choose to put your stuff on. Some people use only Instagram or only Facebook or only their website, and others use social media accounts across every platform. It just depends on the type of marketing you're wanting to do, the type of audience you have. It's all very dependent on the specific project or the specific company or individual. So keep that in mind, that depending on what you're trying to do, there might be some social media platforms that could be better than others. For example, photographers, I obviously feel that Instagram is a better platform to share your photos than Twitter is. And for YouTube videos, I obviously want them to be, YouTube ready. But if I want to take that video and make it more professional, if I want to do almost like a director's cut or like an extended version, I could then move that over to Vimeo. So the other thing that's really important is you need to see what things are cross-compatible that you can post on those different platforms. And you could even do different posts on every platform depending on how crazy you want to get with it. So for example, my photography Instagram, I will take part of an urban exploration video or any of my videos, and I'll take some of my favorite parts of that video that are very cinematic, and I will put those up on my photo Instagram. And then I'll go to my personal Instagram, which is @KAnagonio. So I'll go over to that Instagram and I will take a separate snippet from the same video that I put on my photo Instagram, but I will use the parts that I am in, where I am hosting the video or where I'm commentating something. I'll put that on my personal one so that I can drive traffic over to my photo Instagram and vice versa, because that is a way I am trying to cross promote between accounts. So that's something that you might want to consider doing. Or if you do photo work and video work and you want to split those up, I've seen creators who have an account for photos and an account for videos. I don't know why they do that, but some of them are, aerial drone pilots, so they want to keep their aerial work in a specific place because aerial photography and aerial drone work is very sought after right now because obviously it's a huge thing. It's a huge market right now. So I'm actually studying right now. I'm taking an online course to get my unmanned aircraft license. So I'm super excited about that. And so if you're wanting to, look more into that, I will do a completely separate podcast with some drone pilots at a later date. But let's continue on with this. I want to talk about, lastly, something that I feel is very overlooked by a lot of young amateur business people or photographers or freelancers, whatever you do. I feel like a lot of people overlook their SEO marketing. And if you don't know what that is, well, you're already behind. You have a lot to catch up on. So SEO marketing, basically SEO is where you lie within Google's search rank. So when somebody looks up photography tips, where do you lie in the rank? Are you on the first page or are you on the 80th page? If you're on the 80th page, people probably aren't going to find you unless they use a more specific tag or search term that you put into your website. And I just kind of want to go over how SEO works and how to set it up and where to go and what to do. So essentially SEO is tags. So the same way you would use a hashtag, you're pretty much using that on your website or wherever it is that you're hosting your things. It could be YouTube, it could be anything. And there's tools to find you the best tags available. For example, YouTube, there is an extension for Google Chrome that you can pay for called TubeBuddy. And what TubeBuddy does, it shows you basically a step-by-step guide on how to make the perfect, if you will, the perfect YouTube video title, description, tag list. It will suggest tags for you based on the information you've given it. So if your title is Abandoned Walmart in Cleveland, it's going to suggest tags like Abandoned Cleveland, Urban Decay Cleveland, Cleveland, Ohio, Cleveland Photography, whatever it is. That's SEO marketing. You need to find the tags that are the most used because you're trying to get to the top. You're trying to get to the front page of Google. You're trying to get to the, most watched YouTube videos, whatever it is you're trying to do. You have to use this marketing. You have to use SEO marketing. And that's the thing. A lot of people get lazy. A lot of people get super lazy. They don't want to do it. They're like, oh, it's so time consuming. It'll be fine. People will find me. Do you realize that on a website, you could add tags to literally every element of that website? Every photo you upload, you can add tags. Every video you upload, you can add tags. Music, same thing. Upload to SoundCloud, link it over to iTunes. Podcasts, man. You get those tags that are in SoundCloud and they're automatically pulled into iTunes. It's absolutely fantastic. So for me, if you go on Project Freelance on the iTunes store, you can even see the other shows, the other podcasts that your listeners are subscribed to, which is really cool because that gives you an idea of what your demographic is. So you can either continue to go in the direction you're going, or you can kind of branch out and put out your feelers and see what everyone else is listening to. And here's the thing, the more people rate and comment and leave reviews of the podcast, the bigger it gets, the closer to the front page and the top played and the most played or whatever it is of the week. That's how that works. You guys have the power. You have the power to grow things. I have the power to make the tags that reach you. You have the power to grow it. I mean, I also have the power to grow it, obviously, but you have a lot of power in your hands, guys. This podcast, this doesn't pay me anything. It will eventually, but right now, I'm doing this shit because I love it, because I want to teach you guys. This is me being 100% transparent with you guys. I'm not making money by making these podcasts. I'm literally just spending hours recording things that I feel like people would want to know. I record things that I feel like I wish I had known when I started. That's why I'm doing this. And that's why social media is so important. If you didn't find me on social media, you probably didn't find this podcast. And if you think about it, iTunes is also a form of social media now, because we're posting our podcasts, we're posting our music, our movies on Netflix, on iTunes, on Amazon. There's so much opportunity for creators now, and people overlook it so often. And it's literally right in front of your face. Your phone is in front of your face. It's right there. Use it. So the other important thing about SEO marketing is that you can actually see the demographics. You can see the analytics of the people that are coming to your page, to your website, to your Instagram, to your YouTube, whatever it is. You can see those insights. They're literally available for you. It's amazing. So once you get those demographics, once you see what kind of people and what, gender or whatever, where they live, their location, what they're interested in, once you start getting that information from your SEO analytics, you can then start forming your brand into whatever you want. So you can reach out more into the people that are following your work for your weddings, or for people that are following your live music work, or whatever it is that you do. When you start learning about your demographics, you can branch out to more demographics, but you can also focus in on those bigger demographics that are getting you more traffic, because those will give you more money quicker. So SEO marketing, guys, super easy to learn. You can literally, I didn't even know anything about it. I have just been listening to podcasts like Social Media Marketing Podcast. I've been listening to The Side Hustle Show. I've been listening to Millennial Money, Gen Y Success, Don't Keep Your Day Job. I've been listening to so many different podcasts that have taught me so much about not only freelancing, but also about things like SEO marketing, something that I was completely new to. So thanks to those podcasts, and thanks to podcasts like the one you're listening to, I've learned a lot, and it's helped me grow my business and my brand exponentially. The learning material is out there, guys. It's free. Literally, on iTunes, you subscribe to podcasts for free. You're getting information for free. I'm literally handing it to you, or speaking it to you, I guess I should say. So if you guys want to know more about SEO marketing, definitely check out some of the podcasts that I've recommended. They will be down in the description. I hope that you guys are getting something out of this podcast. If you are, please be sure to rate and comment. Let me know what you like about it. Let me know what you think. Share it with your friends. Help the podcast grow, guys. I will talk to you guys next week, next Sunday. Thank you for tuning in to Project Freelance. You can check out my work at knagoniaphotography.com and or on Facebook and Instagram at knagoniaphotography. I'm out of here. Go shoot something. Go make some art. Go record a song. Go get inspired, guys. Later.